Did you know that ancient writers were more impressed by Cleopatra's intelligence than her beauty? Hello and welcome to World History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly and today's video is all about the life and accomplishments of Queen Cleopatra VII of ancient Egypt. Don't forget the easiest way to support us is by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel and hitting that bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on any new uploads. World History Encyclopedia is a non-profit organisation and we're on Patreon, a brilliant site that offers exclusive benefits to subscribers. Your support helps us create videos twice a week, so make sure to check it out via the pop-up in the top corner of the screen or via the Patreon link down below. Cleopatra VII Philopator lived between circa 69 and 30 BCE and ruled ancient Egypt as queen between 51 and 30 BCE. She was the last queen of Egypt before it was annexed as a province of Rome, and it's interesting that she is easily the most famous queen of Egypt, even though she was actually mostly Greek as the final ruler of the Hellenistic Ptolemaic Dynasty, a period of rulers that came to power after the death of Alexander the Great, when his general, Ptolemy I, became king of Egypt. Cleopatra is best known for her love affairs with both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, which has overshadowed her many more impressive achievements, such as her fluency in many languages, her diplomatic skills, and how powerful and adept a queen she was. Cleopatra VII had already successfully steered Egypt through a difficult period prior to meeting either Julius Caesar or Mark Antony, and in fact involved herself with them initially for political, not personal reasons. Her reign ended after she and Mark Antony were defeated at the Battle of Actium by Octavian, who had become Augustus Caesar. Both Cleopatra and Mark Antony committed suicide, and the following year Octavian established the Roman Empire. In 323 BCE, Alexander the Great died, and his enormous empire was split between his generals, with Egypt going to Ptolemy I Sota, who founded the Ptolemaic Dynasty. This Macedonian-Greek family ruled Egypt well under Ptolemy I, Ptolemy II, and Ptolemy III. But after that, the men on the throne were poorer leaders, until Cleopatra VII came to power. In 69 BCE, Cleopatra was born and ruled with her father, Ptolemy XII Auletes, until her father died, and at 18 she took the throne. Following Egyptian tradition, Cleopatra needed a male consort so she could rule, and so naturally the best idea was to ceremonially marry her 12-year-old brother Ptolemy XIII. Not long after though, Cleopatra dropped his name from official documents and ruled alone. A common trait of Cleopatra's predecessors was insisting on the superiority of the Macedonian Greeks and not learning the Egyptian language or embracing Egyptian culture. But this is not how Cleopatra ruled. She was fluent in Egyptian and Greek, among other languages, which aided in her diplomacy with other countries since she didn't need to rely on a translator. She often made decisions and acted upon them without consulting the council members of her court, which they did not appreciate. So despite her abilities and achievements, her court was less than impressed with her independence. Thinking that it would be easier to control Cleopatra's little brother, in 48 BCE, Cleopatra was overthrown and fled to Thebaid with her half-sister Arsinoe, while Ptolemy took the throne. During this time, the Battle of Pharsalus was taking place between Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great, and when Pompey was defeated, he fled to Egypt. Since he was the state-appointed guardian of all the younger Ptolemy children and had spent a lot of time in Egypt on his campaigns, he assumed he would find sanctuary in Egypt, but instead he was murdered as he came ashore at Alexandria. Ptolemy XIII's advisor Pothinus thought it would be smarter to align themselves with Rome's future, aka Julius Caesar, rather than its past. However, when Julius Caesar arrived in Egypt in pursuit of Pompey, he was outraged at the assassination, or said he was anyway, set himself up in the royal palace and displaced Ptolemy, who fled with his court to the city of Pelusium. Caesar wasn't going to let the young king slip away though, so he had him caught and brought back to Alexandria. Cleopatra was still in exile at this point, and she couldn't very well just walk into the palace. But she recognized an opportunity to regain her power with Caesar. And according to Plutarch, she had herself rolled up in a rug as a gift for Caesar and entered the palace undetected. By the time Ptolemy XIII had been brought back to the palace the next morning, Cleopatra and Caesar were already lovers. Ptolemy was outraged, and so war broke out between Caesar's army and Ptolemy's. After 6 months of being besieged in the royal palace, the Roman forces were able to break the Egyptian lines. But before Rome was victorious, Arsinoe, Cleopatra's half-sister who fled with her, defected to Ptolemy's camp and proclaimed herself queen in place of Cleopatra. Her reign did not last long though, as the young king drowned in the Nile trying to escape battle, and Arsinoe was captured and sent to Rome. Caesar spared her life and had her sent to live in the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus until 41 BCE, when Mark Antony had her executed at the urging of Cleopatra. And so Cleopatra was the single ruler of Egypt once again. She travelled through Egypt with Caesar and even bore him a son named Ptolemy Caesar, also known as Caesarion. In 46 BCE, Caesar returned to Rome, and with him went Cleopatra as his consort and their child, who Caesar acknowledged as his son, but not as his heir. The fact that Caesar was married already to Calpurnia caused unrest in the Senate, since they were strictly against bigamy. But this didn't stop Caesar and Cleopatra appearing in public until 44 BCE, when Caesar was assassinated and Cleopatra was forced to flee to Alexandria with their son. Mark Antony, Caesar's grandnephew Octavian, and his friend Lepidus pursued Caesar's assassins, and after defeating Brutus and Cassius at the Battle of Philippi, Antony became the ruler of the eastern provinces, including Egypt, while Octavian claimed the west. In 41 BCE, Antony summoned Cleopatra to answer charges that she had given aid to Brutus and Cassius, and Cleopatra took charge of the summons by continuing to delay her arrival, making it clear that the Queen of Egypt would come when she saw fit. When she eventually came to Tarsus, she appeared in a luxurious barge with all the trappings of the goddess Isis, and the two became lovers immediately, and for the next 10 years. They had 3 children together, Cleopatra Selene II, Alexander Helios, and Ptolemy Philadelphus. And Antony eventually divorced his wife Octavia, the sister of Octavian, so that he could legally marry Cleopatra. Unsurprisingly, Octavian was unimpressed with Mark Antony's behaviour and the disrespect he showed him and his sister. Octavian felt that Antony was compromising the security of Rome through his relationship with the Egyptian queen, and so the forces of Octavian and those of Cleopatra and Antony went to battle a number of times, until 31 BCE, when Octavian was victorious at the Battle of Actium. When Antony heard a false report of Cleopatra's death, he stabbed himself. And when he learned that Cleopatra was still alive, it was too late, and Octavian allowed him to be brought to Cleopatra, where he died in her arms. After Antony's death, Octavian demanded Cleopatra attend an audience with him, where she learned that her fate was that she would be taken to Rome as a captive to adorn Octavian's triumph. Recognizing that she couldn't work her same influence with Octavian as she had with Caesar and Antony, she requested time to prepare, which was granted, and then had herself poisoned by a snake bite and died. Octavian had her son Caesarion murdered and her children by Antony brought to Rome, where they were raised by Octavia, which put an end to the Ptolemaic rulers in Egypt. Cleopatra has been remembered as a great beauty, but ancient scholars were far more impressed by her intelligence and charm than her physical attributes. She has continued in history as the most famous queen of Egypt, but she is more often remembered not as a powerful and intelligent woman in her own right, but as a woman who successfully seduced 2 of the most powerful men in Rome of her time. When she died, Cleopatra was only 39 years old and had ruled Egypt for 22 of those years. And while she held her throne, she maintained a state of balance and harmony in Egypt. Although she was of Macedonian-Greek descent, she is remembered to this day as a symbol of ancient Egypt, more than any other Egyptian monarch. Why do you think she is remembered not for her intelligence and skill, but for her ability to seduce important men? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our new videos every Tuesday and Friday. This video was brought to you by World History Encyclopedia. For more great articles and interactive content, head to our website via the link below. If you like my shirt, you can find this design and a bunch more at flowerillustration.com, or you can find a link for it down below under the merch tab. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon with another video.